of the silence, Joe Barboza and the cracks in the New England mob. Alright, let's keep it rolling. If Patriarca was the kingpin who kept New England tight, then Joe the Animal Barboza was a storm that blew the whole thing open. Barboza was a stone-cold hitter, no way around it. They say he took out over 24 guys for the Patriarca crew. Big, mean, feared in every room he walked into. But here's the thing, when the feds finally boxed him in, he flipped, not just a little, he flipped loud. This was the first time New England saw someone at that rank turn on the whole organization. Barboza went into witness protection, took the stand, and put some of the biggest guys in the family behind bars. That wasn't just another trial, that was the start of the cracks. And it sent a message. The code wasn't bulletproof anymore. If a guy like Barboza could go against the life, then anybody could. After that, it was just like fucking dominoes. Informants started popping up, indictments started sticking, and the feds finally got the leverage they were looking for. But don't get it twisted, Barboza didn't just snitch and walk away. He had to live on the run, always looking over his shoulder. He knew the mob would never forget, and sure enough, they didn't. In '76, he got clipped in San Francisco, a shotgun ambush. That was the mob's way of saying, yeah, you can testify, but you're never gonna really be fucking safe in this lifetime. That moment changed the culture. It was the end of the old school, ironclad omerta, and the start of the era where rats, wires, and federal cases became part of the mob game.
Joseph Barboza's corner in East Boston was a magnet for desperate people who needed money fast and couldn't get it elsewhere. Interest, or vigorish, was high, and the collection methods were low. But Barboza claimed he always warned the customers first.
When we made the deal, I tell every person, don't take this money. If you can't pay it every week, I prefer you not take this money because it can lead you into trouble.
If a customer did take the money and couldn't pay it back, there was trouble.
This was almost typical. If a guy was 7 weeks late, say in the area of six or 7 weeks late, and he was hiding, and I found him, I threatened him, and I told him that you better come down the corner and straighten this out. Now the fellow would continue hiding because he didn't have the money, and I could not accept. I could not let myself accept that he was in trouble. So that I stabbed guys after 14 weeks that still continue to hide. You know, I stabbed them in the face, I stabbed them in the legs, I stabbed them in the arms, I stabbed them in the chest. You understand?
Barboza and other loan sharks justify this kind of treatment on the basis of the deal. And surprisingly, they say even the recipients of the violence agreed.
See, most of these people, the ones that I heard, knew that I was right. Maybe I was wrong in the way that I did it, you know, as far as the excess violence that I did it, but still they said that they deserved it. They didn't relish it, but they knew as far as the deal itself, they were wrong.
The money made on loan sharking is enormous. For example, Joe Barboza had just one corner and one section of East Boston.
It grew up to $5,500 a week. Interest.
How much money did you have out to get $5,500 a week?
Well, I was a little lucky. I only had about $65,000. I had one man that I gave $21,000 to, and he used to give me $1,800 a week.
There are some freelance loan sharks, but very few successful ones. The successful sharks are soon paid a visit and are usually made an offer they can't refuse.
You start out with $1,000. Yeah, easy, nothing. Once you start making some good money, that's when they step in on you and say, listen, we'll be able to write to Shylock. Shylock belongs to, you know, to the office. And you've been doing Shylock for a long, long time.
Excuse me, Joe, what do you mean by the office?
The office, in other words, it goes an archer. They wait till you make some money. Then they say, all right, we're your partners. We want 50% of your business. Any trouble that you have, we'll take it. You don't have to hit nobody. You don't have to do this. They didn't do that.
What do you mean hit?
I mean, anybody, you know, what they use. What they use if they hit you, you know, slap you, stab you, hit you with some kind of an implement or... I'm going to tell you something. If anybody died from sharlocking, it'd be a $90 customer. It won't be a $5,000 customer because that doesn't get you your money back.
Tomorrow, Barboza will define the structure of New England organized crime and name the leaders, the same people the government claims still rule the underworld. Barboza will also tell why he decided to become an informer, a decision that ultimately cost him his life. In charge in Barboza's time, or for the most part, still in charge today. In this 1970 interview, Joseph Barboza defined the structure of the New England mob. Barboza's position as a contract killer required direct contact with the man said to be the boss of the New England crime syndicate, Raymond Patriarca.
Now, imagine, like, Raymond sits in Rhode Island. This ashtray is Rhode Island. And there's a that's the middle of a wheel, and all these spokes run out, lines of them into Worcester, into Springfield, into Boston, and all these different cities and suburban towns. Now, when the lines go there, he has an office there, the main office in each town or city. Now, in that main office, there might be 25 25 chartered clubs or bars, more than that, in that city, that all turn back to that main office. Now, the main office sends somebody back towards Raymond, and at a certain point, not directly to Raymond, but to somebody Raymond trusts just outside of Rhode Island, picks up that money and brings it to Raymond. And you got all these people, you know, you understand what is developing from this main artery, that thousands of people that he controls in the way of bookmakers and so forth, and the runners and so forth, and pickup men. And gambling is, you know, they're not wrong in regards to the 5 cent or 3 cent number play. You understand that, you know, when it deals in volume, it brings it back millions and millions and billions of dollars a year.
The indictments last week against Boston's alleged mafia leaders confirm that such structure still exists as described by Barboza, and that Raymond Patriarca of Providence, Rhode Island, is the boss of that syndicate. Barboza described the simple way that members of the syndicate are identified to each other.
Joe, this is Jim. Jim is our friend. Joe is our friend. Understand? Or they'll say, they never, if there's somebody that's not connected, they never say our friend. I want you to meet so-and-so.
It was some of these same so-called friends who double-crossed Barboza and caused him to turn informer and to go on to become the most important witness against the mob ever. Here he reads from an undelivered letter to Patriarca, citing his reasons for doing so.
They killed Tash and Tommy DePrisco in the nightlife. They took off their persons money totaling over $70,000, which belonged to me in regards to the bail. Killed Chico on December 7th, 1966. Raymond sent word to me that if I go to his office and straighten it out, then nothing would happen to my wife and child. They did plot and try to kill my wife and child. The office tried to kill my brother. They tried to kill my wife's cousin, Sid. They turned attorney of mine against me, and he was opening letters. I was sneaking out through him and letting them read them. The office spread the rumor that they were mad at me for shaking certain people and nightclubs down, even though I never moved on any club or person until the office gave me the okay. I only answered to Raymond and his emissary. At first it used to reach me, the informant in Canary Bed. It doesn't reach me anymore, because I have a purpose in life. I have only one purpose, and that is, the best way I can put it is to get a little peace of mind.
That peace of mind lasted about 5 years. The mob had the last word. On February 11, 1976, Barboza was gunned down in the streets of San Francisco. Last week, 2 reputed gangsters in Boston, Gennaro Angiulo and Ilario Zanino, were arrested and charged with plotting Barboza's murder and that of 2 of his friends.